Hello everybody, jimmyispromo here, back again with another awesome video, and today let's talk about the top 10 hidden features inside of the Gear S3. So the very first one is dealing with a screenshot. So a screenshot is something that you do pretty much every day on your normal use of a cell phone, but possibly maybe you did something with S Health on your watch, maybe you got a high score of a game with inside of your watch, or maybe there is a time that is significant to you. What you're able to do is you will press this bottom button. So first off, let me just distinguish. The very top is your back button, and then the bottom is your home button, which also acts as the power. So in order to take a screenshot, let's actually look right here at the time. We're going to press and hold on this home button, and then we swipe from the left to the right on the screen. So you press and hold and swipe. That is how you're able to take a screenshot. So that was technically number one for the trick. And what we're going to do is move right over into tip number 2, and that is setting up a shortcut with one of these buttons. So we just took a screenshot with the watch. Now we want to check out that image, and a fast way to do that is instead of moving over and heading over into your applications and then trying to, go through your different bezels and going through all these different home screens, trying to find your gallery. Here's a way to set up your shortcut, and how it works first off is by double pressing on your home button. And you can see here I have a few different pictures. So on the very top, here is the last screenshot that was just taken. So how you're able to set this up. You will turn your dial and move it over into the settings icon. Once you go inside of settings, then what you'll do is you'll click on device. And this very top one right here is for the double press of the home key. You'll tap that, and then up here is where you are able to choose any type of a application to pop up when you're to double press this home button. And right here, I have mine set up for the gallery. So let's go right on back over into that image that was taken. And what exactly are we able to do with this picture? If you hit on that little 3 button over on the right-hand side, it gives you the options to delete it, or you're able to send it to your phone. So if I was to move on over, bring the phone into play, and let's move it over to the cell phone. What's going to happen is this thing will probably notification, and it just mentioned that there was an image that was sent over. So let's get this thing unlocked, open it up, and here is the image that was sent from the Gear S3. Now the third hidden trick is dealing with maybe it is cold outside and you're wearing gloves. So what I'm going to do is I don't have gloves with me at this moment in time, but I do have a scarf. And this right here is pretty much the exact same fabric as well as thickness as a glove. And this is one of those that's not going to be extremely thick, but it's definitely cottony, and it has a material that will never really, work with a touch screen of a watch. So right here you can see that I am trying to touch it, trying to move it around, and nothing's happening. If I was to even head back over into the home screens here, there's nothing I'm able to do. I wasn't able to change an image that was in my screenshots, and that right there does not work. And again, here we go with the finger, and it does. So how you're able to make your gloves work with your watch. What you want to do is press and hold on that home button on the very bottom and turn your bezel to where it says touch sensitivity. And then once you turn that on, you give it a little bit of a checkbox. And then now what you're able to do, I'm going to mimic the glove again, and now I'm able to use my gloves while also using my watch. Trick number 4 is dealing with an application that you're able to download for free. And I would like to show this one off just because it is free. You don't have to pay for it, so this is something that is available for everybody. And what you're going to want to do is head over onto your phone, search underneath the games, and you'll find a game that is called Snake. So the cool thing about this game is that it kind of takes you back retro style, playing with a little blockage of a little balls that you kind of run into, and there is the little snake that is moving around, and then you turn your bezel to make it turn. So on here, if I was to turn it on the right side, it's always going to turn right. And then I move it over to the left side, which I'll move it left now. Here's turning right again. So it's really just one-dimensional in terms of one little option if you're going left or right. And anytime you do left or right, that does also change it if you're going left, right, up, down. So as you guys can see, I'm just basically turning this thing right all the way I could just to see if I can get this dang little food or snack or whatever you want to call it. So I am not doing great at this moment in time. So let me see if I can get this little dot. No. There we go. Now, each and every one of these little dots that you get, I believe these are worth 10 points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to die on purpose. And you see there, I got 60 points. So one of the things I want to show you guys is let's head over into trick number 2, which is doing the shortcut, which I have this one set up to my gallery. And I did play a little bit earlier on today, and I got 180 points. So if you guys are able to beat 180 points, Please make sure you guys download this game as well as show it to me or write a comment of what your guys' highest scores are. Again, I am on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. All the hashtags is at jimmyispromo. So let's head over into the phone and let me show you guys where you'd be able to download this game. So what I do is I pull down my notifications panel, and that's where I click on the Gear S3. On the very bottom of this app, I go to the Samsung Galaxy apps, and then I make sure I'm underneath the tab up here on the top right side that is called Gear. And if you want to, you can actually just search for Snake. And on the very top is the option and the one that I've downloaded, which is the Snake Classic S2. Now, trick number 5 is if you're somebody who is always multitasking, maybe you get yourself a little bit of ADD and you're always looking around and you want to open up an app, but you always kind of forget to touch on it. So the steps to turn this on is by turning the dial or the bezel, click on Settings. You'll scroll down to where it says Device. Once you click Device, you'll go towards the very bottom where it says Auto Open Apps. And so what you'll do is once you focus on an item, it will open up automatically. How this works is, let's say that we move over and we click on Apps. So what'll happen is you see that little white dot right there? And what you do is as you are moving this around, let's say that you go over to alarm, but you don't touch it. If you're to leave it there, it'll blink a couple times with that little white dot and it'll actually open up the app for you. So if we move over again, I don't touch it, it blinks about one time and it opens up the schedule. Hidden feature number 6 is going to be dealing with the battery and checking out the information on the apps that is running on your Gear S3. So up here, it'll show you your battery life that is estimated. So right now it says I have 1 day, 2 hours and 38 minutes left, and this has 54%. And my usage has been 3 days and 1 hour. So that can tell you there that I'm using this thing and it'll probably almost last me maybe 4 days and 3 hours is what it's pretty much trying to tell me here. The other nice thing about it is that when you scroll down, you can see not only the percentages of how much battery is being taken from all these applications, but let's say we click on music player. This only took up 2%, but the cool thing about this one is that I'm able to force stop it. So if this is using a lot of my battery percentage, I'd be able to hit on force stop. Also, it'll let me know if I have the latest version or not. Now, if we go to the very top, this is the one that's taking up most of my little battery, is going to be watch faces, obviously because you're always looking at the watch faces, checking out the time and everything else. The other cool thing is that it'll give you a little bit of a little notification here, which if you were to adjust the power use, it'll ask you and tell you, use a dark watch face. Well, mine is already pretty well dark, but you can also change it if you want to. So you can see I have a lot of black that's going on there. And if I was to switch it up to any of these other ones, this one has a little bit more black, a little bit less of the color. That might also save my battery a little bit. This one right here will take up a little bit more battery since there's much more different colors, but it's showing you a lot of the applications, or I should say a lot of the different watch faces that have the black color as the main color in the background, except for these first 3 on the very front. Hidden trick number 7, you have to go into the application of the Gear S3 Gear Manager so you'd be able to turn this one on. So what you will do is you'll head over into the Settings tab. Underneath the Settings tab, you have an option for Send SOS Messages. And what this does is if you're to press the home key 3 times, it'll send a little SOS request as an emergency. And your emergency contacts will receive a SOS message containing information about your current location and how to track you for up to 1 hour. And what they use for tracking is the application referred to as Glimpse. And then after sending a SOS message, your emergency contacts can track your location for the hour. And right here it says, call the selected contact and answer incoming calls automatically in emergencies. So the great thing about this one here, what it's trying to say is that it will call this selected contact, which is right here where it says, make SOS calls to, and you get to choose who you want it to go to. But here is the biggest deal. It will also answer incoming calls automatically. And what it'll do is it'll keep the volume at the lowest audible possible. So if you're a policeman, or if you're somebody in the line of duty, if you're doing anything in the terms of the nature, or maybe you're in a house, somebody is breaking in, and you triple press on your home button, what'll happen is if somebody was to call you back, it will automatically answer for you. So in this way, 911 is able to kind of hear what's going on without you having the risk of answering your phone. But here is the things on the very bottom. Right here it says send SOS messages to. So here's where you're able to choose your 3 different contacts to send a message to. You can also choose the options for sending a phone call so they kind of know what's going on. And then this one is very important here too. So you have the countdown before sending the message. So what you'll have is you'll have 5 seconds. So now let's say I go over to the watch, and what'll happen is if I was to triple press this 1, 2, 3, what's going to happen is that I have the countdown of 5 seconds, and I can hit cancel if I need to. But if I did not cancel it, it would be sending those SOS messages to the folks and the ways that I have mentioned from before. Now, I do want to say it's good to have that very last option turned on, which is the 5-second delay, only because if you're to double press and it goes into your little quick shortcut really fast, what if you accidentally press it 1 extra time and you didn't mean to? So this is just a way that if you accidentally hit it 3 times, you're able to cancel it. So hidden feature number 8 is actually 2-in-1, and what this one's going to do is this is talking about right now, as you can see, this is turned off, but what's going to happen is this is a wake up gesture. So when you turn your wrist, it's kind of a way to save your battery a little bit, so it's not on all the time, but if you just want to see what time it is and you turn it up, this is the wake up gesture. And then if your watch is on and you want it to turn off really quick, instead of turning it down, or maybe you have the wake up gesture turned off, just cover it with your palm and it turns off for you. So that is pretty much 2 hidden tricks in one. But let's go over into the settings to turn this on. The first one you want to do is go underneath these settings, and then you scroll down to where it says device. Underneath device, all you have to do is just select this option for the wake up gesture, and once it's illuminated blue, that means that it is turned on. Hidden trick number 9 is dealing with if you are using your watch for running. So I run all the time, and this one right here is showing, and I went inside of S Health. So what you're able to do is you're able to go through all these different areas here to check out, your runs and pretty much everything else. And so what if you would like to share on social media that you just did a run and you burned all these different calories? What you'll want to do is you'll head over to your phone, you'll go inside of the very top, click on the Samsung Gear S3, move over into the very bottom where it says Samsung Health. Once you go inside of Samsung Health, this is showing everything that was within inside of your watch. And also, if you have your phone turned on for this as well too. But down here, it shows all the different categories of running and heart rate and stress, pretty much everything else. But what you're going to want to do is click on this little square. And then what you do is you'll scroll back to one of the days that you ran. And when you move over to this one, let's say right here, this option right here, it'll give you the breakdown of what you ran, but it's also giving you the map that you run as well. So let's say that you are checking out all your different vitals. You're checking out how long you've worked out, how long was the distance, how many calories did you burn, what's your average pace, what is your max pace, and you see everything else here too. But on the very top, when you go upside of the share, this is where you're able to choose which one do you want. Do you want to show an image of the track and hit this little arrow to show all these different things that you have done, different ways of showing off that you did a mile, because maybe you did the hiking, maybe you did some biking, here's your running, and then here's all the different awards or rewards. If you want to show off your reward of having a best pace or the most calories burned, here is the route, another way to show the route, and then here is the chart of your heart rate. So there's several different ways you'd be able to share it, and then you just click on share, and now you put it on your social media. And then the very last one is still dealing with S Health, but it's all going to be done on your watch. So let's say that we move over and we click onto Samsung Health. And so this right here is showing me what I did today with how many calories was burned, and I want to click on this one here. Now, when you get inside of here, it's showing you where your active time was, where your inactive time was. Maybe you're just sitting down for about an hour and a half or such. Now, let's say you go to the very, very top. This is where the little bit of a breakdown is at. Now, what you're able to do is click on this option here, and now it is able to show you all the different calories you burned throughout all the different days of the past. So let's click on this back button one more time. Let's go back another, and let's move over to the next screen. So here's the steps. So you click on the steps. And then here's where you'd be able to check it out through all the different days. And green means good, gray means not good. That means there's a lot of days that I am not hitting my goal, which again, I'm not always moving around all the time. I'm either working and then I'm coming down doing some YouTube. So that right there, guys, has been the 10 hidden features inside of the Samsung Gear S3. I hope you guys liked it. Make sure you guys hit on like as well as subscribe and share this with all your friends and add this video to all the different playlists you have on your own YouTube. And I will see you guys later.